It's enough of me ranting about transgender. That's going to get me sacked in the morning. Anyway. Yo, what's going on, guys? And welcome back to Chat in the Flat with me, Crozy. I am Crozy, and I am here with the beautiful Francesca. Again, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome back. It's lovely to have you.
Thanks, it's a pleasure.
So yeah, welcome back to the show. It's an absolute pleasure to have you, as I just said. Today I thought as the last show was an introduction to you, who you are, what you're about, and all those kind of things. This show is going to be more topical about societal issues and a chance to kind of debate them from a man and a woman's point of view. So we'll see how they differ. The first topic I thought we'd dive into today is, I'm going to bring this to the table, is should children be at gay pride? What are your thoughts and feelings about not about being gay and not about the Pride Festival itself, but about children attending that event as a whole?
I think it's really a delicate point. Like, there are a delicate age where it's difficult to know who you are. Mm-hmm. I think even by myself, you pass through all the stages when you are young, that you are punk, you are rock, and you are like, you got this style, you got this hair, you got this and you got that. And I think that now people are more open to gay and to minority and other kind of things, that people feel like almost free to say, yes, I'm gay, or they get the chance to say, oh, I'm trying to do that. It's like, for me at my age, it was like, oh, I have a belly piercing. That
was your rebellion, the way you
that was
differentiated
exactly
yourself from the crowd, so to speak.
Yeah, or I had like punk hair. I was in that mood, and I was going to to the club every Friday. And I think it's just the society is changing, but I'm not sure they really know who they are.
Okay.
This is my opinion. It doesn't mean that's true.
I think if you let people find out who they are, then that's fine. I think when you try to teach people who they are, you already set them up for an idea. It's kind of like the religion to an extent.
Yes.
If for example, the religion wasn't taught till people were 18, no one would be religious. Ever.
I don't have any religion because my dad want me to grow up like thinking about what is the best for me, instead of someone put it in my mind, you have to do this one because this is good, you have to do that one because that one is bad. And he thought like, okay, when you grow up you will decide your religion if you want one.
Fair enough.
And probably this is why I think like in my way.
Okay.
So I think this influenced a lot.
Plus, being a Roman, you probably believe in Zeus anyway, so it don't really matter too much, does it?
Not really. You might be surprised like how many people in Rome they don't believe, they don't go to church, they don't.
No, it would make sense. It would make sense because obviously, like I said, the main religion of Rome throughout its history wasn't actually Christianity. Despite Italy now being an Italian country, obviously Rome were with the Vatican and all that lot, and being kind of like the birthplace of European Christianity, for want of a better phrase. It would make sense that the Romans themselves, the vast majority of people who are from Rome, stayed in Rome, lived in Rome, and are bred from Rome, still have. I don't have no religion. After realising Zeus and Aphrodite's and all of those weren't real, it's kind of like, well, what is real? I'm like, people will give me a hard time for the things that I say, because like people like, even my mum goes, whoa, sometimes some of the things I read and hear you say like seem like they're anti-gay, for want of a better phrase. But like, I believe people are born gay. I don't believe it's anything you can change. I think being gay is actually more of a natural thing than any religion. I think trying to tell a gay person to sleep with the opposite sex is like trying to make me sleep with the same sex. Just don't think it's a thing that people can choose to do. I think you're either born it or you're not. So, but the one thing I don't really agree with is trying to force ideas and allow children to an event where you have men in gimp masks, you have men in leather straps with spikes on them, and in Doc Marten boots. I don't agree with allowing children to go to an event that is catered for sexuality. I think as an event, it's fine. Have it, absolutely fine. Parade the street, mess the street up, make it look dirty after you finish. That's, it is what it is. That's what's going to happen. But I think that should be set for over 18s only. I think you should be an adult and have to attend that. You shouldn't be able to go to gay pride and not be able to drive a fucking car. You shouldn't be able to drive a 2-ton death trap around the streets, but be able to go watch men in gimp masks parade up and down the street wearing nothing. I think that's where we've got it wrong. And I think that's where the rest of the world looks at us and laughs. And as the whole entire of the Western world, I think we get laughed at from Asia, from Africa, from the Middle East. I think all of those places look at us and think, you lot are fucking clowns for allowing this all to happen. Because it clouds children's minds. And I tend to think that overall, it tends to confuse young children more than it does benefit them. Like lots of children may say that they're gay, they're trans or whatever, and in 2 years' time actually not be. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? Because like you said, we're all finding ourselves. We're all going through things from different stages to different, experiences.
That's something that you experience and you find out, yes, I am, or no, I'm not.
But I don't think homosexuality works like that. I think you're born that way. So it's not something you're going to experience. You're going to be that
definitely.
way.
But you started out yourself at a certain age because you don't really believe in yourself. As I say, you don't know who you are. And you say, oh, I might like this one or I might like that one. So I had experience like with a lot of my friends who've got kids and they say, oh, my daughter now is lesbian and... but then she wasn't, and this kind of transition sometimes it's just rebellion, maybe to the parents as well. Yeah. So it can be everything.
It can be a mixture of things, especially when you're growing up. And I understand, the difference is you might at 13 feel it, you might feel that you're gay, but then come 16, 17, not actually be gay. But I believe if you don't, it's like religion. If you don't tell kids what homosexuality is, they're not going to want to be it. Yeah. So if you don't mention it to children, the same as religion, no one's going to think they're gay at 14. It's not going to be a thing unless you really, 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 really are gay. And then you will be one of the few people, because it's not a majority of people or anything, who are feeling that way. And then when you're 18, society doesn't hate you. It's like such and such came out. Everyone's so accepting. Everyone's like, I don't give a fuck. In fact, it'd be more shocking that if they brought back Page 3 than if it turned out Piers Brosnan was gay.
Do you think it's different from female and male?
I don't
like that the sexuality is felt like is it more accept? My question.
I have a feeling. I have this other thing that I don't really believe in homosexuality in women. Most lesbians I know and witness and go on my Facebook and pull up and have a look at have got kids. Which tells me that they weren't born gay. Because most gay guys I know, if you ask them what they think of a pussy, they'll start retching. Oh, it's disgusting. Ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah. Why have most lesbians taken a dick then? It makes no sense to me. I believe homosexuality is so in biological in us that in the transition between the XY chromosome, from it breaking down and becoming a man, there's something left in men. In that transition, in that change. And I believe... then the very few lesbians you do actually get, the legitimate ones, they kind of at the cutoff points. They were about to turn into a male, but it just didn't allow them to. I don't know any science behind this. It's nothing I've never researched. You can probably actually check this out as a research piece.
I'm not that expert, but you can see even through society in the past, like being like this, especially for men, it was more acceptable. Even they weren't gay, like even Romans or Greek or whatever. Even like in Greek, in ancient Greek, like pedophilia, how do you say
which is,
like, it was something really prestigious. You got a teacher who had his own, student who needed to learn. And it was like, normally they would go with them. Wow. So, this is something about history.
Yeah, but then history's obviously kind of, obviously pedophilia is something that no one kind of accepts. But also what you've got to remember back then is it was more, science wasn't as pushed on as effective stuff. So when women were, what you class as pedophilia was actually biology. So a girl started her menstrual cycle at 11. She became instantly fertile and ready to reproduce the next generation of kids. And everybody back then realised that nobody was here for their feelings, for their experiences, to see the world or bullshit like that. You were here to reproduce. So what we would class as pedophilia was actually carrying on the human race in what at the time might have been hard conditions. You know, nobody was rich. About 5 people were rich in the whole country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the time, everybody else was fucking poor. So having kids and being able to kind of sort of swap kids and make kids, you know, us have a kid and give that kid to the blacksmith's wife allowed us to get cheaper shoes. Do you know what I mean? To allow our daughter to marry the blacksmith's son allowed us cheaper shoes for the rest of our lives and allowed our horses to have stuff on their feet. So what we would class as pedophilia these days is kind of a little bit skewed, especially when you look at history, I feel.
Yeah.
But I think in 1,000 years' time, they'll look at us and laugh and say, why the fuck did they willingly take 6-year-old kids to see blokes parading around in spandex and a gimp mask? There is no logic for any of that. When everything's where we are now, most people live in a house that's got a roof. They're not cold. Most people have got clothes. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's more fucked up now than actually needing to do it back in the day, because you know the need of humanity to sort of continue was essential back in the day. But anyway.
Yes, we changed a little bit topic.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
From religion to.
So I'm going to ask you another question, which really should be simple, but I think in 2023 people struggle to answer it. It's a 4-word question, and you
have to count with your fingers.
I did. You shush, stop spoiling over there. I got to leave that in now. You being this thing, you should be able to answer this question. So, what is a woman?
What is a woman?
What is a woman?
I think, oh my gosh, I think woman is a feeling.
Okay.
It's strange. I don't believe in who we are. Like when you say I am this one, is the moment when you are not something. Okay. So I am who I am. Like even Shakespeare, to be or not to be, it wasn't just a simple sentence. It was like, there's more philosophy there. Sorry, I read a lot of rubbish things about it.
It was very philosophical, but it was like, only a question.
When you say, I'm this, I'm that, this is the moment you are not, because you limit yourself to be who you are. So if you ask me who I am, I think this is the most difficult question in the world.
I find that doubly crazy as well, because you're a nurse and you work in the medical field.
I mean, my job is a nurse. My name is Francesca. You know what I mean? Like, it's not I'm Francesca, I'm a nurse. This is my job, but tomorrow I can wake up and be whatever I want.
No, you can go into the fitness side of it and give that a real wow and give that a path. Yeah. But
my body tells me that I'm a woman. But what really make a woman is not just the context of the society. What about, like, it's just giving a birth? Or what about a woman who can't get pregnant?
You don't think it's an adult female? You don't think it's as simple as that? You don't think a woman is an adult female? It's as simple as that? A woman, she's got breasts, she's got woman reproductive organs, she's got a vagina, she's got womanly hands, she's got womanly feet, womanly legs. I think a woman is a vibe. You think it's a feeling, a vibe? So which means anyone can be a woman. Anyone, anything, as long as it vibes and feels that way.
The other topics, like being gay or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, your body tells you who you are. If you really believe, like, you feel like a woman, probably you are a woman. No.
No, no. I believe people are born gay. I don't believe anyone is born transgender, if that's what you're trying to say. No one's born transgender. That's a load of bullshit. My dad, and I'll tell you a story right now. My dad, for 8 years of his life, thought he was Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. And I've told people this story all the time, and this is where people start to understand where I come from and about this. My dad thought he was Elvis Presley for 8 years of his life. Do you know what they didn't do to my dad?
That he was his reality anyway.
Yeah, but he wasn't Elvis Presley, was he? My dad wasn't Elvis Presley.
Yeah, no.
No, so you know what they didn't do to my dad? They didn't move him out to Graceland. They didn't give him everything Elvis had. They didn't put him on stage in Broadway and make him sing songs. They didn't do that. They didn't tell him he was Elvis. Do you know what they did to him? They threw him in a mental hospital for 6 months, and he come out diagnosed schizophrenic.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that my dad, my own flesh and blood, thinking he's another man, is more crazy, he went to an insane asylum, than a man thinking he's an adult female.
Yeah, I mean, it's really questionable. It's like...
Nobody on this planet Earth can give
Yeah.
me evidence enough to convince me otherwise. I don't care what people feel. My dad felt he was Elvis, and his reality was he was Elvis. You know what my
Yeah.
dad wasn't?
I didn't say he was, but in his mind, he was. So I don't want to say he's right,
He's
but
not right, because he's not. Because you know he's not. Because to say
But
that would be
he's
mental.
like- you are whoever you think you are anyway. It doesn't mean that it corresponds to reality. That's what I want to say.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean that it's right, that it's true.
No, because he wasn't. Because like they give him some tablets, they give him some therapy, they
Yeah.
talked him around, they put him on these tablets for the rest of his life, and then he realised that he isn't Elvis. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he got a bit better. He had still episodes every now and again where he went a bit weird and a bit odd. Plenty of funny stories to tell. God rest his soul.
Can he sing?
No, he couldn't sing. No, he couldn't bloody sing. My granddad could hold a note, but no, my dad, no way. No one's ever asked me that, actually. You're the first person. I've told the story to loads of people, right? And no one's ever asked me that. Could he sing? That's genuinely a brilliant question, if I'm honest with you. No, my dad couldn't sing. I wish he could. He would have been Elvis, wouldn't he? So, yeah, but there isn't a way that, like, for me, it's just like, I treasure women. People say, people think I'm sexist, think I'm misogynist. I have these views that men and women feel, think, act, and are totally different. And I accept, and that's my reality, and most of the world's reality. Just not westernized world. We're a bit weird like that. But I genuinely don't believe you are someone trapped in another person's body. I just don't. I can't see it.
So what do you mean? Like, I'm not attracted to a person's body? Sorry.
As in, yes, you're not. So if I wake up tomorrow and think I'm a woman, I'm not a woman just because I feel that way.
I didn't say it's true. I didn't say you are a woman if you think you are a woman.
So
I think this is your reality, and you think you are a woman, and for yourself you are a woman.
okay, so okay, that's fair enough. And I know you've kind of, because of your career and stuff, you have to be a little bit more political about this. I don't know whether that's the case or this is the way you honestly feel. But yeah, from my experience, I think it's unfair to women. I do. I believe you are the fairer sex. Like, I don't mean that in a disrespectful term. I do mean that in a very endearing term. You are the gentler, softer, kinder, smaller, weaker sex. Without using the word weak as in weaker than us, but just, you know what I mean. And I believe you're to be protected. And I believe as soon as you allow men into your world as a woman, do you notice not many women want to be men? Not many.
No, I don't want to be a man.
Tough.
I like to be a woman.
It's because it sucks to be a fucking man.
It can be easier, but it can be like difficult sometimes, especially if you are a woman on your own.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. There's way more to think about in terms of danger as well. Like, you know, not just sort of your life going forward and dealing with the past and whatever else.
And it doesn't mean I can't look after myself, because I can.
Yeah.
But it's nice sometimes to think like I can put my guard down and think like, oh, that's fine.
Someone's got my back.
I'll be alright.
Yeah. Someone's got my back for this. So,
exactly.
I'm just gonna rest for a minute, and someone's got me by the ears. But yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, but for me, it's kind of just like, for me, a woman will always be an adult female. It can sum it up in 3 words: an adult female. And I don't quite get why we lose that definition in society, because I think it also not dehumanizes you. I think that's the wrong way to put it. I think it kind of takes away from everything that a woman actually is when you allow men to be that. It's because you can do something which is the greatest thing in life on earth.
I think it's really dictionary what you say. Like, it's definition. You Google it and you find that definition. Yeah,
because that's how words work. Because when we don't start to use words...
But do you know how words limit the concept of the things?
What do you mean?
It's like, I can see, even because I'm translating things from Italian to English.
Yeah,
so I can see the concept change when you say a word. When you have a feeling, try to express in one word. You limit that feeling.
Okay.
So maybe that word means more. And it's difficult to explain, but sometimes I can't translate things. Not because I don't know the right translation, but because I can express the same concept, the same things is in my head in another language. So actually my vocabulary improved. I have a bigger vocabulary because I got Italian and English. I don't have translation, and the same all the way down. Like if I want to express like my experience, but me being here, and I want to translate it in Italian, I can't. I can just say it in English. For this, like when I meet with other Italians, we speak half and half. You know, some of the things we say in English, some of the things we say in Italian.
Yeah.
It's difficult to.
I get it's probably difficult for me to understand not being bilingual
Like
as
you
well.
got two words, like one is job, one is work. One you do it for pleasure, one you do because you have to do it. And this is the same thing. Like I don't know. It's just difficult to explain. Like when you limit something in one word, you limit yourself.
If it, for me as a man, coming from a man's point of view, if it means protecting women, then I'll limit that word. If the definition of a woman is limiting by its definition, but it means not allowing 6'4" guys to stand up and piss next to 2-year-old girls while they're taking a public toilet, then I'll protect that every fucking day with every breath I've got, because those guys are not women. I don't give a you know, I'm sorry for any pain they've got. I'm sorry for any, you know what I mean? Any kind of issues that are going on up top, but that doesn't make them you. It doesn't make them equal to you. I won't allow it. I will not, as long as there's air in my lung, I will not allow those men to be the same as you, because women are, people think I'm a misogynist, think I'm a sexist, but I'm not. Women are truly special, because you can do the one thing on earth which is critical to us as not just men and women, but as fucking humans, and that's keep us going. That is literally give birth. Now, choose to, not choose to, do or don't, that's a choice we all have the ability and the option to make. But 99.8% of women are born with the ability to do it. Men aren't. And to me, that is a fundamental difference that we should never lose sight of, because without you, as women, we're nothing. Imagine we got to a point, right, where men could instill shit inside of them, like the ovaries and that, right? Imagine it. And then there were some men out there who weren't pussy enough, so they could end up giving birth, and we could do it. What then? Have we got to sit here and listen to you girls talk about your feelings all the time and then deal with that? We don't need you at that point. As men, we don't need you.
Freedom.
Fucking freedom. Freedom! It's going to be the end of women by the sounds of it. Right, anyway, that's I say this anyway, like I said, like the reason I can say this is because of my reality, my experience. Why is their reality and their experience more valuable than mine? My experience with my father was an equally valuable and valid experience. So why is it less valid? It's not. So I don't feel guilty for feeling that way or nothing like that. So anyway, last subject of the day is Sam Smith. No, it's not going to be Sam Smith. Fuck Sam Smith.
What?
Yeah, Sam Smith lately. Have you seen Sam Smith, the singer? No? Not seen him all on stage in women's clothing going mental?
No.
No?
I live outside of this world. Sometimes I don't know what's going on.
People are mental. That's the problem, isn't it?
Variety is good. Make me feel more normal then.
That's why we all miss Jeremy Kyle, isn't it? I'm going to end up with one question, which I think all the boys might be interested in, especially if they like the sound of Francesca's voice. And that is, what 3 things do you bring to a relationship?
So, what I bring in a relationship?
What 3 things do you, as a woman, as Francesca, as the person you are, what do you bring to a relationship?
Do you want me to speak in general or what I personally do?
What you personally do. And then also, if you'd like to elaborate on what you feel, if it's different to if you actually do something that you feel is different to what's correct, then elaborate on what you feel as well, please.
Definitely, of course, it sounds really easy, but respect is the first things.
Cool.
And it shouldn't never mislie in a relationship for anything.
Okay.
So of course I'm staying with someone if I respect someone. At the moment I don't respect someone, or I can't give respect because the way they act. So that means it's not the person for me.
That makes sense.
So definitely respect is the first things. And then what I bring, I can say I can bring is a kind of reflect, like give space and bring the freedom to the other person to be themselves.
Okay.
So because I like when a person like can express themselves, because that's what I like to do in a relationship. I like to be me. I don't want to like be, oh, you have to be like this or you have to be like that.
Okay, that's fair.
And then definitely I bring care.
Okay.
So probably I'm a nurse and my empathy is really high, and always I'm being like a good things, but even a bad things.
Yeah.
Because bring me like, you know, make me accept sometimes situation that I shouldn't, because I think like my empathy feel like, oh, that's why I understand, but sometimes I shouldn't understand.
Of course, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, this is probably the three main things I can think about it. I don't know, probably there are others I can think now.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah,
would you say that's...
there's a lot of things, even as well, like support. Yeah, definitely I'm a supportive person.
Yeah.
So if the person is with me, believe in something, I push the person to be the best of themselves.
That's fair. Encourage.
So encouraging, because I give whatever I want them to give me, you know, like I know it's not expectation, but normally I think we had this conversation, you know, you give love, you give things, and you give what you think you would receive.
Of course, yeah. It's not always reciprocated the same way. It's sometimes it's not necessarily, like, for example, if you give your love through care and kindness and empathy, men don't necessarily react and give it the same way. But they'll do something in return which will be hopefully as meaningful and sort of will keep your respect towards you, kind of thing. So, but yeah, it's not. I don't think it quite works. It's never supposed to be the same. Women don't want a woman, like, as in a man who's too involved in his feelings. It's nice when a man can sit down and talk and express and say those things, but I think...
Yeah, but they don't. Yes, that's true, and I experienced that.
Yeah.
So,
but over the top, too crybaby, too much, too whiny, diny, fucking bitchy is too much the opposite way, you know what I mean? So there does have to be a very fine balance there to what you would tell your woman to compare to what she would actually want to know, because she would probably want to know it all. Like, the women are very empathetic, but eventually, if you cry to your woman, say 3 times a week for 3 months straight, she's gonna lose respect for you. Whether you want to or not, she's gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this wet blanket? He cried over scrambled eggs today." You know what I mean?
Yes.
All right. The first time it was when his mum died. You know what I mean? First time was when his mum died, but 3 months later in scrambled egg, for fuck's sake, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. It makes sense. Yes.
You know what I mean? So there is always a limit to what you can sort of give feelings wise, but it's just like you said, finding that balance between what you offer as a woman and what I would offer as a man, for example, and making sure that balance is correct and right for both parties, so that you can keep the respect, keep the love. And I think mainly a most important thing that maybe a word that isn't said in relationships enough is the fun. Whatever that might be, whether it's you enjoy, I don't know, clay pigeon shooting together, or you enjoy views, or you enjoy days of sex together, or what it might be that you two really enjoy for fun, that you really have in common, that you try to keep that a very important part of the relationship.
Yeah, this is true. And when I found on my experience, if you have more things in common, the relationship works better.
Of course.
So me, I'm a morning person, you know, if someone sleep like till 12 o'clock, so I'm not gonna, like, for me it's really frustrating.
That's fair.
Like, get out of the bed, I need to clean.
Yeah.
I need to open the window.
This
is a typical Italian thing, open all the windows. I don't know if it's here works the same, but all the moms like,
it's not as warm,
open the window.
Only in the summer,
the house need to breathe.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. What? It's -4 degrees.
No, definitely does happen in the summer. Like you literally see everyone's windows open over here, but in the winter it's just too cold, isn't it? So, you know.
No,
what I mean?
they do in the winter. That's fine. This house needs to breathe.
Yeah, right off the Mediterranean. I can imagine that winter's quite nice. The winters are quite nice. You know what I mean? I think we will bring this show. We could go on for another couple of hours, ranting, getting to know each other, chatting, and back and forth and stuff. But I think we'll bring this one to an end. Thank you very much again for coming in.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to add at the end of the show? Is there anything you would like to sort of leave us with? Is there?
No, just thank you for your invite, and had fun.
You're
it was
amazing.
the first time for me, but doing something like this, so I really enjoyed it. Thank you again.
No, absolute pleasure, and you're always welcome. The door is open to you, and it's been an absolute joy having you on. So, thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you very much for participating, and also doing some of the things that you actually said without even realising it. You've shown plenty of encouragement, plenty of kind of, giving me plenty of kind of reason to continue and keep on trying to produce content to
you should definitely
climb up the ladder. So I do appreciate that. So you are appreciated, just know this. Thank you very much. You are all appreciated as well. To everybody listening, if you've made it this far, we kind of give away the country and the city without kind of giving it away. So if you did check out the last episode and you've noticed where she's from, please let us know in the comment. If you guessed in the last one and you got it correct in this one, let us know, and we will drop you a comment and make sure we're interacting down below. So it's a goodbye from me.
Ciao a tutti, grazie ancora.
Damn, that sounds amazing, doesn't it? And I'm assuming that's a goodbye from her. Much love, guys and girls. Much love. Peace.